Hello, everyone. Blue Star Saber here with.
Mangareader.
Yes, and just mangareader, as I did intend to have Lucky Chi, but due to some, something he ate, he's now having stomach aches and all that stuff, so he is unlikely to join us, though if he does
For
join
all
us.
of 5 listeners wondering where he might be.
You've seen my average viewers account, haven't you?
For all of the 5 viewers listening, if you were wondering where Lucky Chi is.
Oh, rub salt in the wound, mangareader.
You got 5 more than I do.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, you don't really do YouTube streams.
I don't. I could, but I'd probably get like 1 view.
Yeah, well, it takes time to do all these things, and I've still to figure out how to do the audience. Though, funny enough, I do find that my Naruto ones end up doing more than my other ones, but that's just. Though, of course, sometimes the My Hero Academia does get to 10 views, but we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss, like, let's see, not 1, not 2, but 3 My Hero Academia chapters. And let's see, and why 3? Because this is how many Viz does before they move on to the next chapter, and you have to become a full-on member of the site to, use them.
Before they before they let you just read all the chapters. Now it's like, oh wait, we're losing money.
Yeah. Money. It's a sad day, people, but it's be known that I have read these chapters legally when reviewing them.
Oh yeah.
So that's why the 3 chapters, and it's also another reason why Lucky Chi cannot join us, because he requested if we could possibly, delay. And it's just like, nope, gotta do them now. Now or never. Let's see, but yeah. Otherwise, I just have to remember the chapters from my own previous experiences. And to be fair, I've only read these chapters like 1 or 2 times. Yeah. But anyway, yes, the 360th, 361st, and 359th, and which you can probably tell from the subtitle, includes Bakugo against Shigaraki with 3 special heroes. But yeah. Which is probably a bit of a spoilers, but anyway. Whether or not Lucky Chi, if he does get better, I've sent a link for him to join us. If not, who knows? I've also sent it to some other people who might possibly join us, but I doubt they will. But anyway, on to the actual chapter. But before we begin, we've got to talk about the 8th anniversary cover from My Hero Academia for the 359th chapter, A Place of Learning, in which we sort of get a double-page color spread of just about nearly every My Hero Academia character you can think of, be it, let's see, lot from Class 1A, so let's see, some villains like Shigaraki, Toga, and Dabi, some of the teachers, some of the, like, pro heroes like Endeavor, Class 1B, and even some civilians like, let's see, Koto, and I'm trying to remember the girl's name. Oh yeah, Eri. You see, all that kind of stuff. And for the theme, they're all wearing some sort of like red suit or dress, or at least something red on it, at least.
Yeah.
It's just like a nice little celebration of all the characters that you followed from My Hero Academia over the years.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, the majority of them are like in red, though there are some exceptions of white, I believe, for certain characters.
Wonder if that Endeavor one. I just noticed Endeavor's armless on that picture.
Yep. I've also even noticed the sort of fox-like, let's see, non-humanoid, civilian that Midoriya saved.
Yeah.
We finally got colorful confirmation, and she's green. I was not expecting that.
Green.
I guess that's one of the things. I guess that's one of the downside of black and white. You can't tell the color unless for a colored page spread, volume, or it gets animated.
Yep.
But yeah, which might be one of the reasons why so many people just watch anime, because they like the colors.
Yep.
But anyway, on to the actual chapter, in which we are seeing a recording of the inside of the UA battlefield, where we're seeing engines being blown up and people trying to repair them and all that stuff. As someone's announced how they're in Sky High at UA and all that stuff. As someone's explaining how, like, the electromagnetic barrier designed to imprison Shigaraki and those confined to, like, sort out the thing cannot communicate with the outside world. With one of the workers telling the people to stop filming, they're at work here, asking why the business course, it feels that they are the business course kids, asking why they're even filming here in the first place. Let's see. With some of the business students saying that the milady's telepath quirk is the only means of, like, communicating to the world the state of affairs here and all that stuff. So, and saying that yes, the school's now a tomb and all that stuff, in which we'll deal with, like, Shigaraki, which will be Shigaraki's tomb and all that stuff. With, like, the person going on about how are you really filming a documentary and wondering why they're doing it. With them saying that the work is vital because all the images and footages they take, will be shown to the public, and of course their job is to promote heroes. This will show their side of the story in order to help, bridge the gap between the heroes and society that's been crumbling down a bit. And not to mention the fact that, the villains have been using, media, their own sort of media thing, like Darby's video about his life story, to discredit Endeavor and heroes at that moment. So they need their own form of footage to counter that. As they need to show the world how they achieve victory today, as Bakugo continues his attack, causing a massive explosion, which I think blasts through the electric barrier from the looks of things, or at least it feels like the impact does. With Endeavor telling Monoma not to shut his eyes. With creativity, or Yadro Momo, I think, saying that it must be Bakugo. She's creating more supplies for it, as the teacher power loader is telling them to, like, what open is commenting on how the power station is not busted and all that stuff. With one of the, I think, third years saying, like, how some of the kids up there have got a screw loose and all that stuff, and if they would just mind the area. With her commenting, saying how does he not care if Nejiro's gorgeous looks get burned again. So I believe this is the third year that was helping Nejiro during the beauty pageant, I believe. And I wonder if this is maybe some implications of, her having a thing for Nejiro. Though I could be, I can't recall. I think this is a female hero, so that might imply implications, but who knows? Best maybe not to go in there. Though Denki tells the third year not to worry, as as he talks about Bakugo really does sweat the details and all that stuff, and how many times he's ordered him to keep his left hand up on the table during meals and all that stuff. So, like, how to make sure you work in a proceeding manner. With the third year questioning how this is relevant, and saying that, as Denki saying that his point is that Bakugo's not the type to fight in an all haphazardous situation. As we then cut back to Bakugo, and it seems like he's really been scarred across, I think, the left side of his face from the thing like that. As Shigaraki comments about how he condensed his blasts, let's see, to like curtail widespread damage while also using the full force. With Shigaraki commenting that it was pretty impressive, though he crushes Bakugo's left arm, saying how it has to go and all that stuff. With him commenting that Bakugo's growth and progress still does not interest him at this point, as I think more hands are growing out from his back and something. As I believe they are now out, as I think it is confirmation that they are outside from the electromagnetic field and all that stuff. As let's see, Best Genius and the Rabbit Girl try to Ritzy charge over to Bakugo's rescue. Let's see, with Shigaraki mocking him about what Fool suggested close combat was the way to go of fighting him. All that stuff. As him stating that they're in for a taste for a power on par with that of All Might's strength, as he causes a massive, I think swing, which blows both Best Genius and Rabbit Girl to the winds, if you will. With Bakugo thinking about that was his best move, and it isn't even close to like getting to the major leagues of dealing damage to him. With Shigaraki mocking him for his like thoughts and feelings and telling him how the only thing that catches his interest of him is how close to Midoriya Bakugo is more than to anyone else, and that harming him will just probably affect him and all that stuff. With Best Gene, let's see, with Endeavor and let's see, Ayazawa asking Mandalay an update from Midoriya, with her saying she cannot reach him. Let's see. Saying that the barrier and the electromagnetic waves are affecting things, and he's not been getting any static for a while now. With with an Ayazawa getting a bit desperate, saying how Genus, Michiko, and Edgeshot should try and protect Bakugo, so that once he graduates, he's aiming to be a #1 hero and all that stuff, as Shigaraki looms closer and closer to wiping out Bakugo for good. But then we cut to like Sun Eater and Nejiro, with him telling her how he really wanted to have a proper graduation ceremony and all that stuff. With them making a comment about how to their pal that once this is over, let's have a proper one and ask Principal Nezuru to throw them together with them, with Nejiro agreeing. With him asking, do they stand a chance here? With then, I believe, Miro, Britzy, or Lumenium popping up from his like quirk saying, let's see, if nothing else, they would need to, until Midoriya shows up, they will protect everyone. With their triple threat power, as the big three as Lumenium joins the battle with the other two of the big three, preparing for battle and all that stuff, ending the chapter. First off, what are your thoughts?
That was a clustered mess of you trying to get through the chapter of only 16 pages, 17 pages.
Yes, this is what happens when I don't read the chapter.
Come on, man. There was plenty of errors in there thrown along the way.
Okay,
I don't know. I felt lost for a minute there, but then I had to remember that, this was the attack Bakugo ended off on.
Yes, pretty much if I want to sum it up easier. But let's see, business students are filming.
Can't even get that right, man.
Let's see, business course students are filming a documentary of the events. Bakugo's attack does not work on Shigaraki. Let's see, Shigaraki now as a result, Shigaraki damages his arms, blows away some of the pro heroes, Endeavor gets desperate to save him as Shigaraki determines to hurt Bakugo to damage Midoriya as the big three step in to try and help him. There you go. Which now you're going to be like, why didn't I do that in the first place?
Why didn't you, man? Why didn't you do that in the first place?
Sorry. But yeah. You get an I told me so.
If this were a YouTube channel where we could edit, you'd be putting all the stuttering characters in between before you finally got through to your.
Oh dear, but yeah. But anyway, this was my criticism of summaries going. Hopefully, I'll be able to do the next 2 chapters. What do you think of this chapter so far?
I think the only highlight is that this outright clarifies who Midoriya is, I guess, or at least maybe in Shigaraki's mind. I don't know. I mean, this is Koei writing it, so I guess Bakugo is the closest thing to Midoriya still right now.
His best friend, which it always ends up being the rival.
Yeah.
Let's see, no matter how problematic it might end up being, or how hostile the relationship is.
Guess what, Izuku and Bakugo fans, if you're that ship, you got yourself a win 3 weeks ago.
Yes. Your platonic rivalry, the platonic rivalry of your ship that you base your ship off is Midoriya's most important relationship.
Yeah.
Which appears to be the same case for Bakugo as well.
Yep.
Which, to be fair, let's see, the main character and rival usually do define each other in a shonen.
They've been friends since childhood, so.
Yeah. So they
Although the Ichibaku fans will argue, well, they'd argue that they've always been friends. It's the anti-people of that would be like, Bakugo was always a bully, man. Always a bully. There's never been one instance, except for maybe that one All Might thing before, where they watched All Might on the television before All Might ended up losing his career. There was like the one flashback where it seemed like the two of them were in sync.
Yeah.
Every other flashback of their childhood is of Bakugo basically bullying the shit out of Deku.
Yeah. From what I can say, they were sort of kind of friendish before they got quirks or not quirks. But then when that happened,
yeah,
it was a Bakugo's superiority complex.
Uh-huh.
He ended up poorly treating Midoriya until the sludge monster incident where he tried to save him. Then they both got into UA, and Bakugo starting to get complicated, getting jealous of Midoriya's suddenly manifested quirk and the progress he's made, and his own inferiority with possibly people being better than him, like Shoto. And then came the incident with All Might versus All for One, in which he blames himself for that. So then realizing that Midoriya has inherited All Might's powers, and then slowly starting to rebuild a proper relationship after learning the whole story from All Might.
Yeah.
Eventually, he's able to apologize to Midoriya and slowly becoming friends again.
Either way, we have, I don't know. I mean, I guess this is a big testament to, it's kind of surprising that Koei wouldn't make Bakugo even stronger, but I guess he's going out of his way to prove how big of a task it is for Bakugo to want to become the number one.
Yeah. Especially when you have people like Shoto and Midoriya from the hero sides, and All for One and Shigaraki on the villains.
Right. Well, a lot of people would like to still, I don't know. I want to say that some people probably still believe that Bakugo could beat Shoto, but I don't know. But the ending's interesting. We'll see where that takes us.
Yeah, that is true. Anyway, I do like how at the beginning of the chapter you have the business course lot filming a sort of documentary in there, and reason is that they need to show this footage to the public to show how heroes had fought back heroically. And also, rebuild some of the publicity that they've possibly lost over the years, over the instance in the last year, where the villains have fully taken advantage of it and discredited the heroes. Even though the maintenance lot are like, this is unnecessary! Because, they probably don't like being filmed while working. Though I have to admit, even though Bakugo might still not be up on Shigaraki's league, I will admit his final attack was impressive, given the massive explosion it caused, which we even got like praise with,
the impact. Sure.
But I do like how. But I will admit, I am liking the interaction between Bakugo and Shigaraki, because for a while, back when it was like the first saga, Shigaraki had an interest in Bakugo as a way of, let's see, if he could corrupt him, he could possibly cause have UA lose all its credibility. But when that's not the case, and then all the stuff with his master and All Might happened, he lost interest, and now, given the fact that he's finally, like you said, paid attention to Midoriya and Bakugo, is that, and especially from their last fight, that these two are like a sort of, important to each other. Given what happened in the last fight, he will destroy Bakugo. To make sure it happens, and I do like how he's clever enough to break one of Bakugo's arms to make sure that he won't deal with another attack like that again. But it's also interesting to learn that, it's confirmation that Shigaraki's transformation thing here, if you will, has strength on par of that of All Might's.
Yeah.
So at least we know when Midoriya arrives, there will be a bit of a battle of strength.
Well, I think they said that his power was supposed to be Prime All Might at his peak. So, yeah, we'll just see how much more powerful that is. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Man, they do everything to make Shigaraki this ridiculous. This bad guy of ridiculousness.
Yeah, so I will admit he has become a bit extremely overpowered, though I will admit though I do think he at least has some limitations, at least compared to, say, villains like Madara or Aizen. Who, those two are really broken, if you recall.
Yeah.
Where... Aizen felt like a DX Machina when with Ichigo's final Getsuga Tensho to defeat him, while Madara ended up being replaced by Kaguya. Or Kaguya. Yeah, it's Kaguya. But anyway, one thing I think left to comment is the fact that I do like how you have Aizawa showing his concern for Bakugo, and you have Momo and Denki showing their utmost faith and let Bakugo get the job done and all that stuff. Other than that, I do like that we now finally got the big three together from class from the year 3, which has still not technically graduated, which they plan to do so once this fight is over, which hopefully all 3 of them will survive to see it. We have to wait and see and all that stuff, though. But yeah, I do like I do like how they are now working together to try and take down Shigaraki, or at least keep him occupied until Midoriya arrives.
Yep.
Which will be probably the first time all 3 of them have worked together to fight a villain. Because, given the fact that, in the arc they're introduced, they had their separate opponents. And then, of course, Luminium lost his quirk for a bit. Then when he regained his quirk, only him and Nejiro were on, the same battlefield against Shigaraki. and Sunita, I think, was with like the raid on the paranormal liberation.
Yeah.
So overall, how would you rate this chapter?
8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a case for me. It's just like
it's more cringe factor, blah blah blah, than anything. Just reactionary. That's all.
Yeah, and the impact of Bakugo's like last like ultimate attack and all that stuff. And setting up Witsy the Big Three taking over from Witsy from the fight against Shigaraki. In which we now will get on to with chapter, let's see, 360, Despite Everything, where we continue off where Shigaraki has got Bakugo to the ground and put his feet on his face and his foot on his face, talking about how Midoriya was supposed to be here. As soon as he shows up, with him commenting about how his quirk being erased is a blessing in disguise right now, as he is able to, crush Bakugo with just his strength. Even though Bakugo tries to tell him to shut up, but Shigaraki kicks him and then grabs him again, destroying some of his combat gear. As he declares that his corpse will be left intact, so he will remember the same sheer fury he felt last time when he damaged Bakugo in front of Midoriya as a present for him. And Bakugo is really starting to, like, as he's strangling him with like Bakugo's face covered in blood. Let's see. With him mocking Bakugo for how he once said that all might triumphant over everything and all that stuff, and tells him he's in for a reality check, as I think he covers him in the hands as he's crushing him all over. At least that's what I'm telling from the panel spread, at least from the page. Let's see. As he tells that Bakugo will be nothing more than, Midoriya's hanger on a miner in All for One for All's wake, if you will. I guess you could say. I guess basically he'll be like nothing more than Midoriya's psychic, if you will. At least that's what I'm trying to guess from the words being said. As Nejiro is using a Nejiri wave, preparing to attack Shigaraki by calling it a pike, turning it into like a sort of spear, if you will. But Shigaraki is using Bakugo as a human shield, which results in her twisting the spear into a loop in order to dodge the thing. And from behind, Sunita using a fast hybrid of an octopus and mirage and Scorpion's toxic to attack Shigaraki from behind. Let's see, as he comments about how he's eaten old bugs all day as in the rage and all that stuff, with Shigaraki noticing the venom. Let's see, blocks it with like some sort of like mouth, like hand sort of thing, saying how this attack is pathetic, forcing Sunny to dodge it and all that stuff. I gotta admire Koei's creativity, but even when it completely confuses me.
We're getting all Akira up in here.
Yeah. As Shigaraki goes about how his body continues to adapt and all that stuff, telling them that they're nothing but insects that can't bring him down. As I think Lumenium is able to grab Bakugo and throw him out of the way enough for Genius to catch him. As Shigaraki remembers him from Jakku, as he reveals his name to be Lumenium, and he's like the hero on a messenger and bodyguard duty. as he will fight any villain who will crash their party and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's someone that's quick and mobile enough to face Shigaraki and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he then starts to ask Shigaraki, why does he destroy? Which he answers about how the current state of society has failed. And then Nejiro, if I'm saying her name correctly, is now doing another one of her like laser attacks, if you will. With she's combining her like a Nejiro wave with Luminium's arm to create a sort of laser fist, if you will. As he ends up telling Shigaraki, he seems to understand and saying that he never had any friends, which seems to have taken him by surprise for a bit. As Nejiro thinks if he can just get closer, he can use escort Hardo's energy waves. At point blank waves. As he tells Shigaraki, otherwise there's plenty of worth to keeping around. As he then punches Shigaraki, thinking about how until Midoriya shows up, he'll keep him on. Midoriya shows up, he'll keep Shigaraki on the ropes. As Best Genius is now trying to help with Bakugo's arm, as they still need his firepower, using his strings, I guess, to sort of fix the arm into a proper place, if you will. As Bakugo still remains still, with Genius telling him to get his arms, give him his arm, and they'll figure something out later. Even though the foe has surpassed us, and they'll have to think of something else. And saying that he's done a stellar point in his encounters with Shigaraki up to this point and all that stuff. And he's done enough for now, but Bakugo just says the right side, and and Best Genius realize that even now, despite everything, Bakugo is still determined to, continue the fight on, as we end with the last panel with the determined look in Bakugo's eye, ending the chapter. So, what did you think of this chapter?
Bakugo's gonna unlock the Sharingan, man. Anyway, just goes to show that Lemillion is still easily one of the, due to how difficult his quirk is, he's easily one of the most skilled fighters in this match. Still is yet to take any damage.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive given how devastating Shigaraki's evolution is.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, I think when he described his powers, he's able to redeflect attacks.
Shigaraki?
So it's not really that he's Lemillion. So
Okay.
him using Nejiro's energy wave isn't really to power his fist up, it's just to redirect it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my mistake there.
Right. I mean, it's easy to forget that. It's been forever since Lemillion first had a fight, second off, and yeah.
Since the last fight against Shigaraki.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I don't even know if he ever fought. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess he technically fought Shigaraki, but I think he's still there just as...
He came in as a last-minute cavalry.
Yeah.
Along with
kind of still more support than...
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And I guess he also fought the Nomu there as well.
Right.
But yeah. But yeah, I do like how you end up getting the big three working together in this chapter, particularly with like you said, with Luminium and Nejiro and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Sun Eater didn't get to do much.
And then Nejiro, Hardo, using moving her pike to attack Shigaraki. But of course, Shigaraki, being a villain, uses a hero, wounded hero as a shield, which, yeah, that is what a villain would do. And she's able to quickly, bend it away so it doesn't hurt Bakugo. Which and then has Sunny to try and attack Shigaraki from behind. So, nice teamwork there.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm getting Akira vibes.
Yeah, fair enough. I have not really watched Akira.
Oh, you fool! You poor man. Yeah. So if anyone, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think Akira was like one of the more defining animations in Japan.
Probably is. I have not had time to watch it. I'll get around to watching it.
It won't matter. Anyway, I wonder if anyone in any comments anywhere for like any like that big time My Hero Academia people online or even remotely coming close to that, because that's what I feel like this is feeling like. So be interesting if someone starts actually, commenting. If I'm the first one, then I'm gonna be a genius. But he's got like the cape and everything going right now, just like Akira, Anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So anyway,
not, but I'm pretty certain. But I'm pretty certain someone has made the comment.
Someone somewhere out there knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they've probably already commented that on their own channels, probably.
I'm still confused as to how Midoriya is going to be able to do anything more here. I mean, I get that at 100% he probably can stick around, but I mean, even his attacks weren't doing much damage to a Shigaraki that wasn't even complete at the time.
Well, I think Midoriya was at 45%, and I think at this point he's closer to 100% now.
Well, I think he started breaking his arm again, and at 100% when he was trying to put him down for the count in the last encounter, and it still wasn't doing anything. Mind you, he had the regeneration, I guess, at that point still, but right now also he might still have regeneration. Who knows? But right now his quirks are all shut off, so I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what the hell Midoriya is even going to be capable of. But it looks like that Bakugo still has something up his sleeve.
Yeah, he still has fight in him and all that stuff.
Whatever that is.
Despite the fact that Shigaraki tried to break him to use him as a way of enraging Midoriya, which I commented on last chapter, really.
Right.
So yeah, that was like confirmation. I do like how Best Jeanist, being sort of Bakugo's mentor, tries to assure him that he's done well despite everything that's gone down. It's just that this is someone out of their league, but he's still determined to fight on. But yeah, but one interesting thing I do find in this chapter that that Lemenium is able to do against Shigaraki is catch him off guard a bit with his comment about how he doesn't seem to have any friends, and this is why he has his current mindset.
Yeah.
Let's see, because that's clearly taken some sort of. That's clearly that's clearly put him off guard for a bit, as it's probably something he was not expecting to hear.
What do you mean I have no friends?
Yeah. But it is, but anyway, but yeah, I suppose it's time to finally score the chapter. How would you score it? Mangareader?
What?
How would you rate this chapter?
I guess 8 to 9.
Fair enough. I figured you might have gone for something like a 7, since it's mostly just an action chapter and not much progress in the story. But fair enough.
Well, Lemillion's always cool, so yeah. He gets an extra. He gets like an extra 1 point.
Yeah. So it's like an 8 to 9 out of 10 because
Yeah, just Lemillion. Just Lemillion getting to do Lemillion things.
Yeah.
Probably.
Let's see. Always a vote winner.
Even though it's still kind of ridiculous what he can do with it, but
yeah.
I mean, again, the amount of effort he took to learn this particular quirk is impressive. So good for him. Everything he does is always fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, even when I think even when people are starting to complain about the internship arc or the overhaul arc, if you will, he was one of the highlights in the later half. I particularly like how the anime did those fight scenes, but yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, we finally got like the big three working together as a full-on team in this chapter. Or at least starting to see it. In some ways, working together a lot more than a certain other three-man team I can think of. But yeah. And Bakugo's resolve to still continue to fight on. Yeah, let's see, and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty good chapter. So anyway, on to the final chapter, 361. Also known as the Abnormal Happenings. In which the chapter begins with appears to be inside Shigaraki's mind with all these hands grabbing around the young Tomura. Let's see, as he thinks of the word friends. Thinking about, let's see, someone said, I told Mikim and Tomo we should play together and all that stuff as he's thinking back to when he was scratching his eyes. As he ends up getting angry at Ritzy Lemenium saying he did have friends. Let's see, as he talks about how Mikim and Tomo, which I believe is, of course, his sister and dog, right?
Yeah, probably. I think so.
Yeah. Let's see, they really had and how they said you were really nice, Ten. And how Mon would like to go out on walks with him. And telling him, I did have friends, so yeah, shut up, you, let's see. So shut up, which kind of shocks Lumenium when he says, sorry, and all that stuff. Realizing that he probably touched a nerve there. Though, I do like how Shigaraki freezes his face for a bit after saying that.
Oops.
With Lumenium thinking that, okay, he must have hit a nerve there.
I feel bad.
Yeah. Let's see, though, don't feel too much sympathy for a villain, otherwise they'll take advantage of it. But anyway, he comments about how his core body is tougher than the hand tentacles that are made, so I guess we got a confirmation that those hands are like tentacles, or tentacle-like hands.
Oh yeah, because they kept getting them, they kept destroying them. It's not like it wasn't a super obstacle in their way. It's just there's too many of them.
And he wasn't even able to scratch his skin, so there might be some trouble, at least when fighting him there, at least. As Shigaraki ends up starting to feel like a fissure within his body as he ends up holding himself up together and all that stuff. As he says that this body should be a complete, perfect unification of Tomura Shigaraki and him, or I think he's thinking of, I guess this is all for one inside him and all that stuff.
Yep.
As he thinks there's at least one component that hasn't quite melded, which is neither Tomura nor all for one, but Shimura, young kid who's being grabbed about, let's see, as like hands grabbing over the younger version of himself.
Well, there's the get out of jail free card for Koei.
Yeah, to have Midoriya save Shigaraki.
Yep. Well, rest his soul for life wherever he may be.
I'm pretty certain For Life is still alive. He's just busy.
Like I said, wherever he may be, rest his soul.
I take it he's not a fan of Shigaraki being redeemed.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see his reaction to all that's gone on.
Yep.
I saw him. As the last piece of commentary I think we ever got about him was like the League of Villains arc.
I'm gonna totally post that in the group chat.
But yeah. But anyway, Shigaraki doesn't want to drag this out any longer. So he starts to move away from Luminium and all that stuff, and then heads to like Bakugo and Best Genus, not caring about the distraction Luminium has. With him thinking that with Luminium thinking that for a second, he thought he had made Shigaraki hesitate for a second. As he thinks about how Tado and Tamaki are the opening act and all that stuff, then he'll make his debut and yank young Bakugo out there, thinking back to their plan from earlier, and how he is untouchable. He'll get close to the Shigaraki and buy time. Let's see. You need to and pretending how they cannot stall unless there's like a solid attack waiting for him. So he's buying time for like Sunny to do his like attack. Let's see. Best Genus prepares for like Shigaraki's attack with his arm tentacles. And it says, the standard "do your worst, you foul villain" kind of speech.
Yeah.
With Shigaraki saying don't push himself, as he's already taking as more damage than he can take, and he's barely conscious. As then Shigaraki gets attacked again by Hado with her beam attack. As he says that, as he thinks about how the heroes have made this area for himself, and comments about how this is instead a tomb built for the heroes. As the tentacles start to grab onto Nejiro Hado, as she thinks back to a time when she was back to a time in school where people think that when she had an all-powerful quirk, it looks like she's looking down on the rest of them, especially when we end up seeing a little bit of her backstory here, where she wasn't always the happy-go, smiley girl that we know her as. In fact, she seemed kind of closed off and a bit moody from the looks of things. And she thinks back about how whenever she tried to get close and curious to people, she ended up driving them away just with how she was acting. Until Sun Eater came along and asked her which hero you were a fan of, in a similar manner to when Luminium asked him long ago as a child. I think we even see the third-year girl that admires Nejiro Hado.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, but due to the fact that she was able to open up due to both Sun Eater and Luminium, she got to learn much about the two. She was all the more stronger for it and was able to open up herself, and she was able to smile as the go happy, lucky girl we all know her for.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, she also got to know the true worth of his vast hybrid, as her laser beams are going straight towards Sun Eater, and comments about why it takes time to cook up properly. Let's see, but she and Toga know all about what Tamaki is all about, as we get a combination of just about nearly any sort of living creature you can eat into this sort of strange insect animal canon that Sun Eater has absorbed, which has, I think, taken in, the laser beam that the Nejiro beam that Hado has sent out. Let's see, and so it's like this giant arm cannon, with Nejiro Hado's energy, with her thinking about how him eating more things makes his potential to grow, And if anything can land a hit on Shigaraki, it's gotta be a quirk with no upper cap, with so the combined power of like two of the big three. As Nemanium thinks it has to be Sun Eater, as he prepares like his laser attack against Shigaraki, ending the chapter. So, Margarita, what do you make of this final chapter we're reviewing?
Well, it made me think that took longer for you to talk about for some reason.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of got a bit lost for words somewhere.
How did you lose all that? I don't know. Her backstory is really short.
Yeah, I have to admit, it's very nice that we're finally getting a backstory at all, really. But it's kind of quick compared to what, Sun Eater and Lumenium got back in the internship arc.
Yeah.
But though it is interesting to learn that she wasn't always a happy-go-lucky girl.
I guess not. But now I'm left curious as to what the hell the Bakugo ending was for about the last chapter. If he didn't do shit in this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it was a really short chapter. It's only 11 pages.
Yeah. Pretty much just setting up for like the combined attack.
Well, now I'm left curious as to what that second quirk is for Deku, because now that we have like a get out of jail, like I said, get out of jail free card for Shigaraki, I don't know what it is. Maybe he can enter someone's mind.
Who knows? I mean, I'm still thinking it's got something to do with that second user's arm cannon thing, since
Well, it was sealed, but yeah.
Yes, that was the most noteworthy thing of him.
Right. We don't know. Maybe the arm cannon is just there for no reason.
But I guess we'll probably we'll see whether or not it was something to help us quirk.
Right. We're still left wondering. First, we don't know what's going on with Toga and
Dabi.
No, well, Dabi, we already know he's. As far as we know, Dabi's done.
Oh, sorry. You mean Toga's and
Toga and Ochaku and Sue, and then we still have no idea what the original All for One had, what his trump card was.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with him now that he's been burnt to a crisp.
Right.
Let's see, but yeah. But at the moment, let's see. We're going to see but at the very least, we're going to see the next chapter. My guess is the this combined attack of Sun Eater's sort of like beast cannon with Nejiro's energy cause a massive attack that will either damage or slightly damage Shigaraki.
Right.
But probably not do the damage I expect, and then Bakugo jumps in ready to fight again.
Right.
That's my next guess of the chapter.
What the hell would a dragon fruit do?
I have no idea. I think Koei is just thinking like, I'll just combine as many different animals and insects and fish.
This man must. I'm trying to remember. I think, doesn't his quirk grant toxin immunity or some shit? Dude ate scorpions, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Let's see, whatever he eats, he's able to grow that animal paw out of it.
I know. That means he literally, like I said, that means he ate a fucking scorpion.
Yeah. Let's see. So it's like,
this man eats like freaking everything, apparently.
Yeah. The only thing he hasn't eaten so far is probably endangered species.
Yeah.
Which probably is not.
Well, I don't really have any idea what adding any of that shit to the canon will do, but whatever.
I don't know. I think it's just Koei's way of just doing that.
There's one big massive cannon.
I think it's just Koei's way of just doing.
I know it's Koei, and it's supposed to be a freaking ultimate attack, and I get it.
Yeah. It's just
when My Heroes Justice 3 comes out, they're gonna have a real fun time, or 4, whenever whenever this thing comes out, the video game is going to have a real fun time with this attack.
Probably, yes. They might, let's see here, especially, or at least do stuff with combo attacks, at least, with when you have certain heroes in your team.
Yeah. Fun.
But yeah, Koei has a sort of body fetish.
I guess so. Even if it's not just the pure body, it's the
Even if it's the animals too, apparently.
Plus ratio, plus fell off, plus no friends, plus killed your family, plus dad never loved you, plus need lotion, plus jealous of stain, plus hand fetish, plus controlling quirk skill issue, plus no drip, plus all for one's bottom, plus wrecked by a quirkless teenager, plus only alive because of plot armor, plus stars and stripe was better, plus virgin. That's a good comment. Thank you. Thank you, Viz.
Oh, man. Yeah, Shigaraki has a whole lot of issues. But I do like how this seems to be the first thing that seems to have really annoyed him, in a sense, that a hero has said in a while, at least. Not since, I guess, maybe Midoriya talked about All Might.
What is Tomura supposed to be if not Tenko's pain left to fester into destructive hatred by All For One? All For One's whole revenge plan was to turn Tenko into his puppet, not implement Tomura and then assimilate him. If they're separate, Shigaraki has depth outside of being All For One's tool, and Tenko is just a human MacGuffin with no impact on the plot. While a lot of Tomura's development is about why he wants to do what he does, I completely disagree about the villain stories not being about the problems with Hero Society, primarily Tomura, Toya, Toga. All their origins involve people who they should have been their hero able to rely on for support in an abusive situation because they felt apathetic, helpless, or were actively contributing to the abuse. Specifically, Toya, since his dad was number two and obsessed with reaching the top of the hero world. My Hero Academia's current heroes, good or bad, are representative of and enforcers of that status quo, and Deku's growth has been turning into a different kind of hero that can save even villains like the LOV, League of Villains.
You've been reading the comments, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm just reading the comments at that point.
Fair enough.
We're in the last section. I can read the comments. Our listeners can see what we're not talking about.
Fair enough.
There's 68 comments. Also, sometimes comments have some really good stuff. With that being said, yes, that is a good point. That man, this is one crazy society.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting that this chapter seems to confirm that currently Shigaraki and All For One have merged into one full being at this point. The only thing left is the young witty Shimura when he was like a child.
Right.
That's the only thing left that is like a.
That would also be that's the exact same thing that Deku said that he felt was present inside Shigaraki. There's a small child in there longing for a savior, and apparently that wasn't just a metaphor. That was literally, he's literally in there.
Yeah. And Midoriya,
subconsciously.
And let's see, my guess is Midoriya says, "You can be a hero."
I don't know if he. Well, yeah, he did want to be a hero, but
yeah. Or at least he'll try to appeal to that.
Maybe.
Well, as long as he doesn't say that, but Shigaraki is the coolest guy ever, he'll probably be fine.
Coolest guy ever. Let's undermine someone's death by calling someone the coolest guy ever.
Mm-hmm. But this chapter has at least given us a bit more of Shigaraki's current psyche.
Dude, we're still left wondering what the hell Deku was seeing.
Yeah. Let's see, but it seems we're starting to get glimpses of it at the very least.
So clearly whatever Deku saw. Well, no, I like literally the last time we saw Deku, he was like, "Wait, what's that ahead of us?"
Yeah. Yeah, we still don't know what he's been. If it's an hostile force or it's an unexpected ally.
Right.
But yeah. But
Crazy.
yeah, my guess is, let's see, Midoriya probably thinks that Shigaraki just needs a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I guess the chapters also emphasize this point a bit when you like, let's see, like all that Hardo needed to become the happy-go-lucky girl is being friends with like the big three. Other members of the big three. Which is nice. But yeah. But if she didn't open up, she might have ended up being in like a sort of, let's see, I guess you could say an female part 1 Sasuke.
Female part 1 Sasuke.
I don't know, that's the best way I could describe it.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess that's just about everything I can comment on this chapter. Unless there's anything more you want to say.
Yep, that's about it, man. As you yawn, I have to yawn too. You suck.
Sorry. Anything else you want to say, or is that it?
No, it's a pretty good chapter.
Yep. Despite the fact that we've probably complained about it for the last 5 or so minutes.
Yeah, we did.
At least, let's see. But yeah, it's a nice that, let's see, we get more insight in Shigaraki and see him being visibly disturbed for the first time in a while against Lumenium and all that stuff. And it hints towards, like, let's see, possibly Midoriya trying to save him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We get, let's see, though I will admit, the backstory with Nejiro Haruto could have gone a bit longer. Perhaps see a bit more of how people were a bit resentful of her about being super powerful and apparently her being a bit closed off for a bit before, opening up to her two friends and seeing how more she socialized with them, she socialized with everyone else and all that stuff. We could have seen at least maybe a bit more of that, but it does end on like a nice cliffhanger of like Sun Eater's canon, if you will. And let's see, which will probably hype up to see what kind of attack it will be as a result.
Yeah.
Whether it'll be as powerful as Bakugo's explosion from last few chapters or something else entirely, we'll just have to wait and see. Overall, I think this would be like a 7 to 8 out of 10 chapter.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, it's a bit short. Could have had a bit more with Nejiro's backstory, but the stuff with Shigaraki and Sun Eater, let's see, is stuff to look up to towards the end. So, yeah. Anyway, Margarita, thank you for joining me with these 3 chapters, which took about 20 minutes each, which is probably the reason why I asked you to,
Come on. Yeah.
Let's see, ask you to review them all at the same time, really. Since we wouldn't really have much to discuss, given how chapter 358 was only like 20 minutes or so. Yeah. As I like to have these My Hero Academia reviews at least last 30 minutes of discussions, but yeah.
Oh.
At least that's how they last on average.
Yeah.
But yeah. At least when I'm having a guest, but overall, yeah. Let's see. I'm Blue Star Saber.
I'm mangareader.
And I look forward to discussing with you My Hero Academia review all next time. And for those who end up watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully we'll have Lucky Chiwa on with us next time.
Possibly.
Goodbye. Yes, see, possibly, yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
Sorry. And with that, we are done.